Capricorn. Hey, this will be your June reading for the first half of June, okay? So, like the 1st to the 15th, roughly. Also, for these, I'm going to do take a look at both work and love separately, but within the same reading, so that we get a little bit of everything for this general reading. Okay, so let's get started for Capricorn. And we'll take a look at work first and see how that's going for the time period of June 1st through about June 15th or so. Okay. Capricorn, please, work. Highest and clearest information for Capricorns that will be watching this video, please, regarding work only. Okay, almost there. 2 shuffles. Work. Alright, there we are. I saw you guys have the Lover's card on the bottom, so that is a good sign. Something, maybe work that you really like and enjoy. So that's cool. Yep. Interesting. Okay, so we have 5 of mine. What happens in between here? What happens in between here, please? For Capricorn. Okay. So some of you may be looking for work, like scoping out some places. I mean, you might already have a job or something, but maybe just like, you know, playing the field a little bit, looking for something else that, you know, is a closer match to you, something that would be more suitable for you as possible. You have an interesting outcome. I'm going to go ahead and lay my second set. I usually talk about the first set first and then do the second, but I'm going to lay down my second set here just so you have a kind of an interesting manifestation here. So let me see what's going on. Okay, it's going towards Capricorn work. This towards Capricorn work. Towards Capricorn for the first half of June. Very clear information. This is coming towards that. First half of June, okay. Okay, so I think this may be like, you know, if you've extended yourself out there for like some other types of work or things like that. I almost hate to bring the news because it's like, it's going to look great and then there's like a letdown. So, but again, I want to remind, this is a general reading, okay? And also, you know, a lot of this depends on what you're manifesting inside, because the way I read the cards is kind of what's going on in your inwardly, okay, and how that manifests outwardly, all right? So it's like there's this possibility here, you know, for your manifestation, you know, in the outward world, you know, of what's going on, what's actually going on in the outward world of 10 of Coins, which is awesome. That's like a fantastic card, and I got excited when I saw that come out because I thought, yes, good reading. But the card that follows it is not. It's not so hot. It's the 5 of Coins. Okay, so it's like a downgrade almost. It's almost sometimes also too. This can be again though. I hate throwing this stuff out in general readings because I don't like people to get, you know, things stuck in their head, you know, that are negative. So I will try to find what might, you know, the thing is though, whenever there's negatives, there's always positives too. So let's just keep that in mind. But this is sometimes a card too of somebody who gets left out in the cold, possibly fired, things like that. And it could be because there could be some sneaky, underhanded kind of behavior going on in the workplace. Not necessarily that you're a part of it, although I tend to see you tiptoeing around something, and it might not be. I'm not saying that you are being underhanded and that type of deal, but I do see you in a small role of sort of like tiptoeing around something, with the Seven of Swords here, this could even be, you could maybe be having, a relationship with someone at work and you're not supposed to, like that's in the rules or something like that. Or, it could be that of like some misgivings or misgoing-ons or something. And, by turning a blind eye, you might somehow get in trouble too. It could be something like that. Or it could be straight out that, maybe you're not doing something cool at work, I mean, for a few of you, it could be true too. I mean, not all of us are angels all the time, so it could be something like that. With the Strength card here too, it's like you're trying to tame something down. I want to lean more towards this is something more like you scoping somebody out at work, and maybe coming on a little too strong and maybe getting in trouble for that. And not necessarily sexual harassment or anything like that, but like maybe they might take something the wrong way, or, it could be any of those scenarios, okay? But for some reason, this is kind of what is coming to light, and it's a karmic situation too, I will say, because earlier when I was doing the cards, I don't have them in front of me now because I've already reshuffled again, but at the bottom I had some very heavy karmic cards, which suggests this is a karmic situation of some sort. But with that said, the only major arcana card here in this reading, because the thing with tarot is a lot of tarot readers look at major arcana cards. Those are the cards that like say words at the bottom, by the way, and you only have one. The other ones are all the lesser cards, okay? Lesser cards to us as tarot readers tell us that these things can be changed, okay? I mean, anything can anyway, but especially these things, all right? So this is a matter of which direction you're going to manifest this, okay? When you have major arcana cards and like a lot of them, that usually kind of indicates to us as a reader that sure, absolutely, anything can be changed, but most likely this is kind of already laid out for you, and there's not really much wiggle room or playroom, okay? But this situation, absolutely, because what is going on, is there's some sort of cheating, there's some sort of something that's not right going on, and you may be just thinking about it, or you may know of people that are doing it, and like I said, even if you're not involved in it, you know about it, but somehow maybe you're going to get caught up in it if you're not, doing things too. So whatever it is, start working now, because this reading is for June 1st to the 2nd, the second week of June. So today is the 24th of May. So if you're watching this early, start kind of switching your thoughts around, okay? And look at this as a heads up, okay? And start manifesting what you want to see. If you want to see the 10 of coin, see the 10 of coin and be the person that would be reaching the 10 of coin, which would be, industrious and positive and, have integrity and all of those things, and also manifesting positive things for themselves, okay? Not thinking that they have to do certain things in order to get something, okay? Because whatever that might be that you might be contemplating may not pay off for you in the long run, okay? And again, I don't mean that this is a general reading, so if you're watching this and you're like, what is she accusing me of? I'm not, it's not for you then, so you'll know what I'm talking about if it's for you, all right? So, okay. Now, for the other stuff, let's see. Yeah, because there's just coming towards you. There's some sort of betrayal here. So again, this might be that you are aware of this stuff, but just not doing anything about it, and you're letting it slide. In other words, like if you're a security guard and somebody that you like at work is doing something, but you don't do anything about it. What I'm saying, that could cause you, even though you might think you're doing the right thing, that could cause you to lose your job in the long run. That's an example, okay? because they're, you know, coming towards you is some sort of choice that they are going to be making about you, and they see some sort of betrayal here, okay? So whether it's true or not, that's not, you know, you can leave comments in the bottom and all that, but I am not accusing anyone of anything. This is just what the cards are saying. And a lot of times, you know, people accuse people of things when it's not true. I get that. Okay. So, as far as, let's see, what might actually happen, though, with all of this is that if you're not, you know, like for a rare few of you, some people may actually, you know, get axed, you know, get the axe or whatever. But if not, then what may happen is that this workplace just kind of doesn't know what to do with you, you know, and not in a bad way. I'm not saying in a bad way. Like, they see your benefit and your quality and all of this, and they see your potential. So whatever this is isn't such a big deal, and they want to still, you know, keep you within the company and extend something to you to keep you afloat and keep you going. Okay, so that's a good sign. But there's a lot of like dejection and you know, just things going on, unfortunately, for these couple weeks. Let me see. And you know, this could be you too. You know, it's like, I mean, this could be that you see this company. All right, this is here's an example. This will give me some points here for some of you who might have felt offended by the other, because there is this possibility too that you see the company as that way. You see them as tricky and as cheaters and as, you know, looking the other way, you know, at things when they should be taking action, okay? And that might kind of not fit in with your moral vibe and integrity, okay? And you may be reaching out to other places, you know, in which case I do see that as positive. I think that you will leave this place in the dirt and never look back. And I think you will have a new start with something else, okay? And I think it would be something that you kind of know is there available to you in the work field, in the workplace. And it might be a slight downgrade in pay than what you're used to, but I think that you'll know in the long run it would be worth it for you to do, okay? So, and in which case, you know, the company itself, they might be heartbroken that you're gone and all of that type of stuff. So there is that scenario, okay? Which is very likely, actually, now that I see that from that perspective. Let's see. Yeah, I believe you do. Okay, the stuff I was talking about, the manifestation and stuff too, and being careful, you know, about those things, because you have this window to like turn this around and all of that. So with Magician card here, that even confirms that even more. The Magician, you know, is able to manipulate things to, you know, not manipulate as in bad manipulation. I'm talking about manipulating forces within themselves and without of themselves, you know, to create what they want, okay? So you have that ability. That is your outcome, okay? So that is very good. That means you will be able to make this situation work. I do have a feeling, actually, that last scenario I said, I think that may be more likely. I think it may be more that this is a company you don't feel good about, you don't feel, you know, good, you know, working there, and, you know, whatever it is you're doing, you don't like doing that kind of behavior, you don't like seeing it, you know, and you don't want a part of it anymore. And I think you may leave and be done with them, okay? And like I said, in which case I do think there's going to be something right there. May not, you know, it's something that you kind of know is there, but maybe you haven't really, you know, considered it as tangible, but it is tangible. And like I said, slightly less money, but not, you know, not a big deal. Still good money, okay? So that's that. Let me pull one advice card for work before we go into love for Capricorn. Okay. Capricorn. All right, one work advice card for the first part of June, please. Highest and clearest advice for Capricorn work only. Okay, the Sun card. Yay. All right, the Sun will come out. All right. Ooh, all right, nice. Okay, so this is awesome because the words on here say happy outcome, brilliant new ideas, that lead to success, and have confidence in yourself. Okay, so I really, really, really like that card as an outcome. And with the Magician there too, those are two strong cards that tell me this will be okay. This also even further strengthens my last scenario rather than my first one. So I don't think, at first I jumped to conclusions because I saw the Seven of Swords in your position. Okay, and and then I saw somebody possibly getting fired at the end. So I jumped to conclusions thinking that perhaps you guys were doing something, and I'll stand by, that still may be a scenario too in this general reading. But I do tend to think that more of what I said in the last thing, that the company itself is not aligned to your integrity. You're going to be leaving them. Or, you may be too good for them and they fire you because they don't want you to blow the whistle on them. That could be too. Either way, doesn't matter. Magician, Sun card, you're golden. There is some sort of other offer that is right there. You may not know it yet, but it is forming now, okay? So everything looks good in the outcome scenario of things. But it does look like a little bit of tumultuous times, in the beginning of June there. Okay, let's look at love for Capricorn. Okay, hopefully that's not going to be too stressful since that looks like that's going to be kind of. All right, love for Capricorn, please. For the first part of June, first half of June, love. Capricorn in love. Same thread, please. Highest and clearest information for Capricorns watching this video regarding love, please. Love, first half of June. Oh. Okay, two more, sorry. Took a little while. All right. Highest information for the Capricorns, please. Okay, yep, here we go. All right, last shuffle. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Hey, Capricorn, there's you. Be involved with a Leo. When I see the Sun card, even though that's not in tarot, but I always think Leos when I see that. And you do have fire sign in your reading here also. So it seems like inwardly, it's like you think something's like done, but it's like you're not giving up. Even though it's done in your head, like you think it's done. There's still like you want this victory. Either that or it's something is done, but you're afraid that, you're not going to recognize it and you really, really, really want to conquer that. You don't want to go back again, to the situation or go back to this person. You want to come into your own and really own it this time and like really be done for good. Okay. So that's kind of what's going on with the, struggle inside and all that. What's actually going on outside is we have the Lover's card and we have the Knight of Wands. So that looks like somebody coming back in, again. So, I don't get, even though this is typically like the player card, you'll hear a lot of us, and myself included, a lot of times we'll call this a player card. In this particular instance, I don't see it as like a player necessarily. I just see it as somebody who's just coming in, coming around again, and it's not like you haven't done this 50 million times before kind of situation. And you guys, you have a strong chemistry, you have a strong, probably a strong sexual connection as well. And it's, it's hard to resist that, I get it. So I think that's kind of what's going on there. Just coming towards Capricorn in love, please. Coming towards Capricorn in love. Could be a fire sign with the, It could be a soulmate too, and could be a Sagittarius. Although, even though this is the card for Sagittarius, I rarely call this a Sagittarius because honestly, and no knock to Sagittariuses, I love them, but I have never met a Sagittarius that is balanced. Okay, like temperate. So it typically in tarot it's the card for Sag, but I don't know, I don't see it. I love Sagittariuses, I really do, but balance, they are not. Okay, but it could be a Sagittarius that you're dealing with, because we do have this fire sign coming up. Let's see. All right, coming towards Capricorn, please. And with temperance falling out too, that tells me this is like definitely it's a soulmate connection, that's for sure. Coming towards Capricorn in love, please. So, all right, could be a Cancer also. Let's see, what else? Could be you, could be another Cap. Could be, you got lots of signs here. Libra, you got them all. So, water sign here too. So whoever's coming towards you, with the Empress card and the Devil card right next to each other. So two extremely powerful cards. And you have the Lovers card in your reading. So the Lovers and the Devil card are very, very similar energies, okay? There's just a little difference, in between them. Little pesky differences in between. This is sort of, something, it's a codependency, and that's what I feel from this. I feel like this is somebody that keeps kind of coming back, coming back, could be a little, sometimes with the Devil card too, they can have like some toxic habits, sometimes. I don't see any other indications of that necessarily, sometimes it's like drugs, things like that. I don't really see that. With the Empress card, it's somebody, they do feel like growing with you, expansive, good things. But there's like this like super, I just get like super sexual connection here. That's what I get. Like that's all it is. It's like this like lust connection that, instead of love connection, and that's kind of what just keeps happening. That's kind of what I see. I think this is karmic. And, with the Page of Cups too, this tells me, it's there's not super potential here. It's like, pages are pages, and it's flirty. This is somebody reaching out to you again, yet again. And they're not really serious. They're kind of, they just feel compelled to do this for some reason, and I think it's karmic. That's all I can say. With the Justice card there, that's all I can say. I think they just kind of keep, and I don't think they're toying with you necessarily, but I think they just keep reaching out, keep flirting, keep doing this, keep hooking up, whatever you guys do, just because, and I know that makes no sense at all, but that's kind of what I see. I mean, there's love-ish here, but mostly I see more lust, and I just see like an ongoing deal. Let me see what kind of cards I can put on this here for Romance Angels. And it's okay. I don't see any like super harm in this necessarily. Just understand that there are very karmic cards here. So I mean, eventually this is probably, it's probably most likely, it's a general reading, but I'm going to go ahead and say most likely it's not going to turn into like, oh my God, the love of the century. Although you guys could drag it out that long. So yeah, I'll just say that. Okay. Romance card, please, for Capricorn for the first part of June. Okay. Okay, so the two cards that I pulled are communicate clearly, okay? And I do kind of see that with the Ace of Swords here. It's like you do want to express your truth in some way. This is kind of like in your inward thoughts and things. And like I said, with the Ten of Swords, it's like you want to, you want to have the strength to be done with this and just like lay it to rest and have your personal victory, but and express, truth about something. Or you want to just express your truth and be done with the back and forth. That could be too, be done with that. That could be. Either way, you need to communicate clearly, whichever it is that is going on in your head there. Although I tend to think that it's like you want to end the cycle and, have your own self, back. Okay. And then I have peaceful resolution also as the second card. Okay. So those are your cards for love. A little interesting and not super clear. Not one of my clearest messages for you guys. Sorry about that. It was a little hard to read, with the Devil and the Lovers card there. But either way, I can pretty much say that that's usually what that is. It's usually sexual attraction. It's usually a little bit of back and forth. And some codependency issues. The codependency on this seems to come from their side, not yours, okay, as much. Yours seems a little bit more like for fun, like you might cave into this for fun, because it's like I said, good, good connection, good sex, something like that. So you might connect with that for those reasons, but you don't realize that this person that you're dealing with is just kind of like, they're codependent, possibly have some, prescription pill things or some like drugs, things like that. 1 minute they're an empress, the next minute they're a page, and again with the karmic stuff around it. Okay, so I'll say that. All right. Okay. And so lastly, I'll just pull your two overall advice cards. So if you guys want to think of something right now, not necessarily a yes or no question, because these are just encouragement cards, but if there's something that's on your mind that you would like some encouraging advice on, think of that now. And I'm going to pull two cards. If you don't have anything to think about, that's cool too. I'm going to pull two cards either way, and they can be like your encouragement for June. Okay. The first part of June. Capricorn. Okay, so I have finding sanctuary, opening to your spiritual source. Okay, so finding sanctuary, and this person is at the very tip top at a tower. Okay, so that tells me like crown chakra, finding sanctuary, meditation, things like that. Go as high and inside as you can, or literally go somewhere where you can go and feel free and breathe and like not see 50 million people. If there's like some place you can go and be quiet like that. Opening to your spiritual source. Okay. The other card is wandering path. Enjoy the journey. So that's pretty cool too. So it's like, it's going to wind, it's going to go through some good things, some bad things, whatever. Enjoy the journey. And, the fox, he's a little sly and he's got a nap. So he's good. So, all right, guys. Thank you. And I'll see you next time for the second half of June. And all of my information is at the bottom of the video if need be. All right. Thanks, Capricorn. Bye.